Hey, Vector, come here. Here. We've reviewed Cosmo before, one of the most popular videos we did with the Cosmo robot. Things have gotten better with Vector. Their Vector is on its charging base. Hey Vector, come here. So Vector now is controlled by voice commands. You still have an app you can use, but the key thing here is that you can use your voice. You don't even need the app to be running on your phone. Vector's got this super smart brain. Vector will come to you, recognize faces, take photos, can detect when he's close to an edge, motion detection, all types of cool stuff. Let's get into it. All right, so the key thing you need to know about Vector is he's very playful, so really cool. I don't know what to call this. Is it a toy? Is it a robot? Is it an AI pet? But basically, Vector can explore all around and do things like this. I'm not controlling Vector, just kind of mapping out all that's around him, has a wide-angle camera in there, lasers. It's all this cool stuff to really check out what's going on around him. Facial recognition, as we said. Obviously, voice recognition, but you use voices to control Vector. We're going to get much more into that. That block comes with Vector. You can play different games with that block. Over here is the charging base. Really cool thing about Vector is he will go back to his charging base on his own when he needs to be charged up. I'll say that again. So Vector's battery is low, just goes back to the charging base, charge himself up. So Vector is always on and ready. Check it out. Vector's playing blackjack there. That's one of the various games you can play with Vector. A lot of different skills. Things will be updated, over-the-air updates. A lot of cool stuff. Let's take a closer look at Vector himself. All right, so showing you a close-up of Vector so you can see. So lights on back here. There's a little button here. You like double-click that when you first set up the Bluetooth to first configure Vector. But these are sensors here, so you can pat Vector. Has some touch sensors there. Just wanted to show you the cool look to it. Has the treads here, the little like forklift in front. The screen is the big thing with those eyes, super expressive eyes. Can change all different shapes and just really give you a lot of emotion there. Has the camera built in there. We're going to go over all the specs, but a pretty advanced wide view camera so you can see what's going on. See, Vector doesn't like this. As I'm holding Vector, you see Vector doesn't necessarily like being held, so it's reacting to it. And again, that is one of the really cool things about Vector is that it's not like you have to program it or pick up an app or do things. Just do what you would do with, let's say you had like a little puppy, and then if the puppy didn't like it, would start doing things like this. You're like, all right, I'm going to put the puppy down. So really cool. And that's what Anki's going for here with the Vectors. I just kind of show you around. You can take a look at it, but it's something that is just always on and there to play with you. You can see a little bit the camera's picking it up because it can pick up infrared, but it has a sensor here, right down in here, so it can sense what's going on. Drop sensors on the bottom. We're going to get in. I'm kind of jumping the gun. We're going to get into all this specifically. One of the things I want to show, I'm going to put Vector down here. I'm going to bring in Cosmo because a lot of questions about how do they compare. Here is Cosmo, last year's robot from Anki, and similar in look, right? Looking at my Cosmo off right now just so they're not competing. You know, a similar kind of form factor, but Vector is much smarter. And the key thing is that Cosmo needed an app running to work, like your smartphone was Cosmo's brain. Not the case with Vector here. Has a very advanced brain himself, does not need your smartphone running, will explore all over, go back to the base, charge himself up. Really cool. All right, so to go over how you interact with Vector, you just say the wake-up phrase, which is, hey, Vector. Once you say that, see the blue lights on back? That means Vector's listening for my next command. Right now I'm doing the video, so I'm not giving it, but then you could say, like, what's the weather, set a timer, fist bump, play blackjack, all those cool things like that. And the app goes over all that. But that's pretty much the way it works. You just use that, hey, Vector, give me a fist bump. You say what you want to do. There we go. Boom. And you have the fist bump. So just showing that to you there, and that's really the way you're going to work it, is you say that wake up command. But the other thing, again, I want to stress is you don't have to say much of anything. You can just let Vector explore around. That's fun too. But when you say, hey, Vector, that opens it up to all the different skills and different things that Vector can do. So one of the really cool things about Vector is what you're seeing here, just the ability of Vector to explore around, map out the terrain, not fall off tables, not really bump into things, but be playful. So that's one of the things which really separates it from Cosmo. We don't have the app running now, you know, kind of what we love Cosmo, but one of the knocks was that you needed the app running all the time. for Cosmo to really function. This Vector is hooked up through Wi-Fi, has a very advanced brain, AI brain in there. So Vector's going around, can do all this exploring without the app. So really makes it, your robot companion. Can be on all the time, will find his base, go back to it to recharge. So you can just have Vector exploring around, and Vector sometimes plays with a cube, will bump into something, but just kind of like a fun, almost like a little AI pet that's exploring all around. And we really like that aspect. Showing here, look at that. Look how close to the edge Vector got there. Did not fall off, and even kind of reacts, in a very funny way when he reaches the edge. So just really like that. The ability to explore around really makes it feel almost alive. Hey, Vector, look at me. So that's one of the cool things too with the array of mics it has, able to kind of figure out where the voice is coming from and turn around and look at you and come to you, so things like that. So you're seeing, well, you can tell by where the camera's moving. I'm moving around now, see? Right, my head's moving the same way the camera's moving. Vector's staying with me. So that's kind of just a fun thing there. And it goes to what's going on inside of Vector. A lot of really advanced technology in there. But of course, Vector looks super cute. You don't see all the cool cameras, wide angle, all that stuff. But a lot going on inside it, which allows Vector to play these different games and really interact with you. All right, you see the red light on Vector's back. This will be interesting. This is showing that Vector's battery is running low, and this is one of the more impressive things about Vector, finding his own way to his charging base. See that red light? And this is what's really going to change you from kind of a toy you turn on and off and just use when you want to something you can just kind of always leave on. Vector will go back when its battery is low, charge himself up, so always available to play. So I think this is kind of a game changer here. We've been waiting for something like this because the problem with most toys or gadgets is you got to have them charged up all the time. Drones are terrible, 6 minutes of fly time, then you got to charge them for an hour. But check it out. Vector has gone to his base, charging himself up. I didn't have to say anything, just knew that he needed a little nap. So I think that's really cool, and it just means that Vector will charge up, then later Vector can come out exploring, you can play with him and all that cool stuff.